Welcome to my garden. This video is really it's for everyone, but my cinematographer Christopher, who is building a garden in his backyard, really wanted to see the garden. So this is a tour of the garden. So obviously these are all sunflowers, and there's really different varieties of tomatoes, although these tomatoes aren't doing nearly as well as the ones that I have climbing up the hog panel over there, which I'll show you later. These tomatoes, as you can see, we have a really fun woodchuck that comes through and just takes a bite of every single tomato that he finds. And so pretty much all of my tomatoes over here are his just like grazing zone. So once they reach above his head, he can't get them, and usually what that means is I'll just grab them when they're yellow, and that way as soon as they turn red, he immediately takes a bite. So that's how I stay on top of that. And these are all dahlias, and I had a student bring me a little lunch bag paper sack of them 2 years ago. So this is my second year growing them, and they were just prolific. So in Maine, you can't overwinter dahlias. They'll die in the ground. So you have to dig them up and you have to store them. I usually store them in like a burlap sack or a paper bag or like a big Tupperware container filled with peat moss. But they just grow, they're tubers, and you can divide them so you can cut them into pieces. And so now I have an entire bed full of dahlias before, and I also have some over there because we just had too many and then I gave some away. And so a really great thing that I want to do this year is just share all of these divided bulbs with other people as well. But everything in the garden right now is pretty dry because we're going through a horrible drought right now in Maine. But the thing that has saved this garden, because I haven't been watering very much because I don't want our well to go dry, is this year we had a tree that died, and so we had that tree get made into wood chips, and we saved up a whole bunch of cardboard, and we rented a sodder, which is basically the thing that makes sod grass, and we pushed it along and rolled up all of the grass here. Then we put down the cardboard, and then we put wood chips on top. And so you can see like some of these weeds are poking through, but overall it's been really great. And what it's done is it's brought down the number of pests that we've had in the garden, and also I haven't really watered this garden in weeks, and we've had no rain whatsoever. So it's really been able to hold the moisture levels in the garden because the grass isn't taking all of the moisture from the garden. So these are all cosmos. I grew all these from seeds. I just threw them all down and then I thinned them out. And then I trimmed them when they got to about right here. I trimmed the tops, and so that way they fork out and then they create way more blooms. And then these are all zinnias. Again, I grew all of these from seeds. I just threw them all out and then thinned them, to about like every 7 or so inches. And then these are chamomile. I actually planted chamomile in my garden like 5 years ago, and it comes back every year. And so what I do is whenever I see it coming back up, I'll like move it into one place. So we have some chamomile right here. And then this is a bit of a mess, but it kind of shows the various stages of, these are like seed saving. These are bolted lettuce that has gone to seed. This is all kale. There are potatoes right here that aren't doing super great. They are really missing the rain. These are some mustard greens that have all gone to seed. So I'll probably just go through here and break these off and shake them into a bag, and then I'll have more wild mustard if I want to grow it. This is all peas that are climbing up here. They've kind of gone by the wayside, so I'll probably just collect these for seeds at this point. So this whole bed is a little rough, but that's how it goes. This is all arugula that's gone to seed. I'm waiting for those to dry out. This is all calendula. The calendula is not doing great because of the drought, but it's not doing too bad either. And some more cosmos over here. And then I planted this kind of vegetable pollinator garden this year, and I'm going to do this every year from here on out. So there's collards and broccoli, and this is a mini marigold variety that's really beautiful, and cabbages, and all of these flowers. I've never grown this many flowers before, and it has been so wonderful and joyful. So these are nasturtiums, and you can eat these. You can eat the greens and you can eat the flowers, and they're kind of spicy and they're delicious. And then zinnias here, more collards, kale. This is amaranth. It's absolutely beautiful in flower arrangements, and I have 2 color varieties. So there's this bright pink, and then there's kind of this wine colored amaranth right here, which is so beautiful. And these are amazing in flower arrangements, and they're also an ancient grain, so you can't eat these basically like quinoa. This is scabiosa, and it's a horrible name, but I think it's because the little pods that it makes at the very end are very odd and cool, and they're kind of prickly, but they're beautiful flowers. And these are chocolate cosmos. They're just little tiny variety of cosmos. This is all raspberries over here. I started maybe 3 or 4 years ago with probably 5 raspberry plants along this wall, and they've spread this entire length. This is my compost pile of various pumpkins and other squash, and I just decided one year I accidentally had composted a white pumpkin, and then I got 11 pumpkins out of it. It just like exploded from the compost patch, so I just decided this year to just throw miscellaneous saved squash seeds over here, and they're taking over. So it's a little bit of an experiment. And more like, these are all raspberries back here. This is a kiwi. These are all kiwi vines. They used to be propped up, and I used to have a nice archway right here, but the weight of the kiwis collapsed the archway, and so my friends are going to be building me a trellis pretty soon, which is pretty exciting because these kiwis really need something to climb up, and they need to be trimmed every year. But these are cold hardy kiwis, so they get about this big, and they're super delicious, and they usually produce fruit in about October. So I'm excited to finally get some fruit from them. Let's see, rhubarb. There's some blueberry plants in there. So this is like one part of my garden, and people, whenever they walk through here with me, are like, how long does this take you? And I will say that the beginning of the season, like May, June, it's pretty labor intensive. I'll spend like, most of my weekends out here, like just getting everything in the ground and tending to it. But once things have gotten established, I really come out here more as therapy. I'll just come out here to like pull a bunch of weeds when I just like need to get away from my computer, and I need to listen to birds, and I need to have sun on me and feel the wind. And I really don't spend that much time tending this garden. And so this is a big space, and I'm the only one that tends this. So hopefully that is inspiring and motivates you to just at least try to plant something, because like honestly, 10 years ago, I literally could not keep a basil plant alive in my apartment. And so it's just through experimentation and grace, and knowing that certain things are going to die and certain things are going to thrive, and every year will be different, and